I didn't expect this message to reach you like this. Honestly, I didn't think it would have to be leaked. But maybe that's the only way it could reach the right person, you. Because this isn't for everyone. It's for the few who are awake enough to feel that something bigger is calling them, but can't quite explain why. You've been feeling that pull, haven't you? That strange mix of exhaustion and restlessness, as if you were built for something extraordinary but trapped in something ordinary. You go through your days, but deep down you know, this can't be all there is. You sense that something great is supposed to begin, but you don't know when, or how, or with whom. I know that feeling. I lived through it. People see the rockets, the cars, the headlines, but they don't see the nights of silence when everything felt impossible. They don't see the times when no one believed, when even I questioned if I had lost my mind. But here's the truth most people never hear: the future doesn't wait for permission. It waits for courage. You're being looked for right now, not by me, not by a company, but by destiny itself. There's an open space in the timeline of humanity, and your name is glowing there. You were designed for a specific piece of the puzzle, something no algorithm can replicate. You think you're small, but the universe has already assigned you a role that no one else can play. This is what I've learned: we underestimate how powerful one human decision can be. One spark of persistence can ignite an entire revolution. When I started, I didn't have a map, I didn't have all the answers, and I didn't have guarantees. What I had was conviction. I had the audacity to believe that even if I failed, would fail in pursuit of something that mattered. That's what you need to embrace now. You are standing at a threshold. You can sense it, can't you? That thin veil between the life you've known and the life waiting to unfold. Most people hesitate there. They wait for a sign, for the perfect conditions, for reassurance. But the truth is, no sign will ever come until you move first. The signal follows the action, not the other way around. You've been silent long enough. The world has waited long enough. The people who will need what only you can create, they are already being shaped by the same forces that are calling you now. Don't keep them waiting. Let me tell you something the media never understood about me: I never wanted attention. I wanted transformation. I wanted to take humanity from the edge of stagnation to the edge of the stars. But I couldn't do that alone, and neither can you. Every major leap humanity has ever taken started with one person who refused to stay quiet when the universe whispered, "It's time." And that whisper, it's in your mind now, isn't it? It's not random. It's the beginning of your own alignment with a much larger vision. The future is scanning for frequency, and right now, it's locking onto yours. You're being looked for. Not because you're lost, but because you need. There's a reason you found this message tonight, at this exact moment. You might think it's coincidence, some algorithm's accident. But I've learned that timing is never random. It's alignment. Every major turning point in my life began when something inside me broke, not in weakness, but in truth. When you realize that the system isn't built to reward vision, you have two choices: conform or create. The ones who create are never ready. They're never fully prepared, never fully confident. They just begin, and that's what makes them unstoppable. You've been trained to wait for approval, for signs, for someone to tell you it's okay to start. But the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is supposed to. You are the rescue plan for your own future. The people who think I'm lucky don't understand how many times I lost everything. I've slept on floors, borrowed money for rent, and stared at screens with no answers left to type. I've watched rockets explode, projects collapse, and entire teams walk away. But here's what I never let die: the vision. Because the moment you let your vision die, you stop being alive in the way that matters. Right now, your vision may be blurry. You might not even be able to name it yet. But it's real. The thing that wakes you at 3 a.m., the dream that won't fade even after you've tried to silence it, that's the signal. Don't ignore it. It's the coordinates to the life you were designed to build. You might think you need more resources, more time, more clarity. But the truth is, all you need is more courage. Courage is the currency of transformation. Every person you admire, every name history remembers, they weren't richer, smarter, or luckier. They were simply braver. They acted when others doubted. They believed when no one else did. When I was building SpaceX, everyone told me it was impossible. I remember thinking, good. If everyone believes something can't be done, then that's exactly where I should go. Because the edge of impossible is where all progress lives. And that's where you're standing now. On the edge. The difference between staying and flying is one decision, one breath of defiance, one step into the unknown. Listen carefully, the next chapter of your life isn't waiting for permission. It's waiting for ignition. You might lose people when you begin to rise. You might outgrow environments that once felt like home. But that's the price of evolution, and it's worth it. Because on the other side of discomfort is destiny. There's someone you haven't met yet, a version of yourself who already knows how this story ends. That version of you is watching, waiting, whispering, don't stop now. Keep going, So keep going. Even if no one claps. Even if no one believes. Even if all you have left is a spark. Because that spark is the same energy that lit every star in the sky. You were made of that. You were made for that. You are not just meant to exist. You are meant to expand. The universe didn't bring you this far to quit now. You are being prepared for impact, and impact is never gentle. This is your wake-up call. The world doesn't need another follower. It needs the version of you who leads. And I promise you, once you take the first real step, everything that was once heavy will start to move. The path won't be easy, but it will be. When I was younger, I used to think success was about reaching a finish line. I imagined that one day, I'd arrive, at peace, accomplished, secure. But I was wrong. Success isn't a destination. It's a frequency you learn to live in. It's a rhythm between chaos and clarity, between doubt and action. You're walking that same unseen road right now. You can't see the whole path because you're not supposed to. If you could see it all, you'd never need faith. And faith, not the religious kind, but the belief in what doesn't yet exist, is the real rocket fuel of creation. When I started Tesla, I didn't see a trillion-dollar company. I saw a mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. The people around me saw insanity. They saw risk. But I saw inevitability. That's the key. Don't see the world as it is. See it as it will be. That's what I want you to start doing. Stop describing you're meant to live in alignment with something extraordinary. It won't always make sense to others, and that's fine. They can't see the blueprint of your soul. They can't hear the frequency that's calling your name in the silence. You don't owe anyone understanding. You owe yourself movement. I know what it feels like to be misunderstood. People thought I was chasing fame. They didn't realize I was chasing the future. I didn't care about being liked, I cared about being useful. If you live to be understood, you'll always stay small. If you live to make an impact, you'll outgrow misunderstanding. And one day, the people who doubted you will point to your results as proof that you were right all along. But by then, it won't even matter, because you won't need their validation anymore. You'll have built something far greater, inner proof. Here's what I need you to remember: no one becomes extraordinary by accident. It's always a choice. The difference between mediocrity and mastery is not luck, talent, or even timing. It's endurance. When the road gets quiet and your dreams look far, remember this: it's supposed to feel that way. You're not lost, you're in alignment. The silence is not a punishment. It's preparation. Everything worth building, whether it's a rocket, a revolution, or a better self, takes longer than you expect and costs more than you think. But once it's real, the entire universe rearranges to make room for it. And right now, the universe is rearranging for you. So don't slow down. Don't doubt yourself. The unseen road ahead of you isn't empty, it's sacred. You're walking through a space that's shaping you for what you were born to build. Keep walking. Even if you can't see the end. Especially if you can't see the end. Because the ones who keep going in the dark are always the ones who bring the light. There's something you need to understand about the world you live in. It's noisy by design. Every second, your attention is being auctioned off: notifications, trends, opinions, distractions. The system doesn't want you to think deeply. It wants you to consume endlessly. Because a focused mind can build, but a distracted mind can be controlled. That's why the future will belong to those who can master their attention. Focus is the new wealth. Silence is the new power. When I began building companies, people assumed the key to innovation was intelligence. They were wrong. Intelligence helps, but focus builds empires. Focus is what allows you to hear the faint signal beneath all the noise. That signal is your purpose: quiet, persistent, and often inconvenient. You've heard it before, haven't you? Late at night, when the world goes still, that subtle pull in your chest that says, there's more you could be doing. That isn't anxiety. That's the voice of your potential trying to wake you up. The average person runs from that voice. They drown it out with entertainment, comfort, or fear. But if you learn to listen, really listen, it becomes your compass. It will guide you to people, ideas, and moments that seem impossible to explain. Synchronicities. Coincidences. Truth disguised as randomness. You're not just chasing a dream, you're decoding a message. Every setback, every rejection, every detour, they're not roadblocks. They're encrypted instructions. The universe speaks in patterns, not paragraphs. Pay attention to repetition. When something keeps showing up in your life, an idea, a number, a vision, it's not random. It's communication. That's how I learned to trust my intuition, even when data disagreed. There were moments when logic told me to stop, but intuition whispered, "Keep going," and intuition was always right. Not immediately, but inevitably. You have that same internal compass. It doesn't shout. It hums. It speaks through instinct, resonance, and curiosity. Follow what pulls you with no clear reason. That's the thread that leads to your highest purpose. You were born in this era for a reason. The odds of your existence, 1 in trillions, are not coincidence. You weren't meant to just watch the world evolve, you were meant to help it evolve. The reason you feel disconnected sometimes is because your frequency doesn't match the average. You're tuned to the future, not the present. It's lonely at first. But the higher you climb, the clearer the signal becomes. Remember this, you are not late. You are right on time. The world needed to go through chaos to make space for what you're about to bring. If you want to know how to change your life, start by mastering your energy. Stop giving your power to what drains you. Protect your mind the way you'd protect a priceless artifact, because that's exactly what it is. You don't need everyone to understand your mission. You just need to stay true to it. The noise will always exist, but so will the signal. And the moment you choose the signal, the moment you decide to stop reacting and start creating, everything shifts. You begin to attract clarity. You begin to attract people who speak your language. You begin to attract opportunities that align with your purpose. This isn't magic, it's physics. Energy moves where attention flows. You're not waiting for the universe to give you permission. The universe is waiting for you to give it direction. So, from this point forward, stop asking asterisk, what if I fail? Asterisk and start asking asterisk, what happens if I finally become everything I was meant to be? Asterisk because the truth is, the future is already looking for you, and it's getting closer every day. If you've made it this far, then you're exactly who this message was meant for. Because most people stop halfway, they get inspired for a moment, then drift back into comfort. But you didn't stop. You stayed. You listened. And that tells me something powerful, you're ready. The reason I wanted this message to reach you, in whatever mysterious way it had to, is because I see what's coming. The next era of humanity won't be built by governments or corporations alone. It will be built by individuals who dare to believe that one idea, one voice, one choice can shift everything. We are entering a time when imagination is more valuable than experience. A time when those who think independently will rewrite the rules for everyone else. And you, whether you realize it or not, have been preparing for that moment your entire life. Every disappointment shaped your perspective. Every failure trained your resilience. Every moment of loneliness strengthened your intuition. You've been forged, not broken, by the things you thought were holding you back. That's how creators are born. Not through comfort, but through chaos. I don't want you to wait for the perfect time anymore. There is no perfect time. The conditions will never align the way your mind wants them to. You have to leap first, and trust that the net will appear. Start small if you must. One step, one idea, one commitment to something that scares you. The first step is always messy, but it's sacred. That single act of courage will start to bend reality in your favor. I've seen it happen over and over. When someone finally says, enough, to their own limitations, life responds immediately. Doors open. Energy shifts. Opportunities appear that were invisible before. Because courage doesn't just change your future, it signals to the universe that you're ready for it. Don't worry about being perfect. Be authentic. The world doesn't need another flawless success story. It needs people who are willing to be real while reaching higher. People who fail, learn, rise, and keep building. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not unworthy. You are simply becoming. Every moment you choose growth over comfort, creation over consumption, faith over fear, you evolve. And when you evolve, the entire planet evolves a little with you. That's how humanity moves forward. Not through technology alone, but through consciousness, through one awakened mind at a time. And now, it's your turn. Maybe you'll build something. Maybe you'll write, teach, design, invent, or lead. Maybe you'll inspire someone you'll never even meet. It doesn't matter how it manifests, what matters is that you answer the call. Because if you don't, the world loses something irreplaceable. You. I've spent my life trying to expand what's possible. But the real expansion begins with people like you, people who stop waiting for a miracle and decide to become one. You have the same energy that built rockets and rewrote industries. The same creative spark that built civilizations. It's in your DNA. You just have to activate it. And when you do, everything changes. The fear that once held you will start to dissolve. The obstacles will turn into teachers. The unknown will become your ally. That's the moment you'll realize, the world was never against you. It was waiting for you. So, wherever you are right now, I want you to do something. Close your eyes, take one deep breath, and whisper to yourself,